know this is De La Soul in that area. And we like to represent always music and strength.
Word up.
If De La means music and strength to you, then that's what it means us.
Word up.
De La 20 years held up like braziers.
I mean, we people, man. We people, like Mace was saying earlier, we're his lives. And our personal lives have always contributed the way how we make music, how we write rhymes. So, I mean, you're talking about the beginning of what we did, being maybe 17, 18 years old when we got signed. And even before we even got signed, just being maybe going into 17, just making music in Mace's basement or what have you. So, you know, you fast forward now, you're like, you know, old ass men, yeah, still got things.
Hey, watch that work. In particular, those experiences are the things you do begin to write about. You know, you want to write about, you know, my newborn. You want to write about my daughters in college. You want to write about, you know, my son, you know, playing sports. You want to write about, you know, my marriage. You want to write about my, you know, those are things that you should put into your music. I want to write about my health now. I want to start writing about how I feel and what I should do or should not do. I want to write about, you know, how proud I am of my daughter in college. It's so much to write. It's, you know, and we should continue doing that. You know, when we're 50, we should be writing about, you know, my wheelchair. We should be writing about my, you know, my prostate. You know, we should be writing, you know what I'm saying? We should be talking about all of it. So, I mean, as an artist, I think if you dive in yourself and in your experiences on a day-to-day, it'll be endless what you could talk about. So life is our canvas. You know, let's just definitely make it colorful.
These are my childhood friends. So, and what we did definitely on a positive note with one another was come together outside of our other friends and make this music. And I think, you know, not to sound corny, but by the grace of God, you know, and His guidance, and us feeling the way we feel about this music and one another and our common goal and cause to do what we love to do and make a living at it as well, it's one of the best blessings in the world, you know. Once you get past over the hump of the first two songs, it's like on autopilot. There's little stupid stuff that goes on stage that make us crack up. You know, something he may do just to get himself motivated that'd be so funny to us, the crowd wind up getting something else out of it. You know what I mean? You know, it's just a blessing knowing that, like, this is a childhood dream. We're just still riding the dream until it can't ride anymore.
We had did this benefit with Common, and speaking to Heavy D, and we were just talking about, like, you know, making albums, and he was just like, you know what, I just feel like I don't want to make rap albums because it just get to a point where I just feel like I don't have nothing to say. And just to hear him say that, I could just internally look at myself and be like, yo, I got so much to say. Like, I know I feel like I still got so much to say. I don't have to dig for it. So I think that's a blessing to know that when you're 18 and you're still figuring out the world, you realize that in real life, no matter how many books you read, how much data you take in, you know that there's still so much more to take in. You just don't have to talk about the same things. You can come from different angles or talk about something totally different. So I love that about us. No matter how much older we get, there's still so much we feel we can talk about and do.
The instamatic focal point bringing damage to your burrow. Be some brothers from the east with the beats that be thorough. Got the solar gravitation, so I'm bound to pull it. I gets down like brothers are found, ducking from bullets.
The challenge is to get people into it. And, you know, before you step on that stage, there is that thought process as to whether we're going to ace them, whether we're going to get them, whether there's going to be a uphill battle to get them into it or what. And in the case of Japan, there is always that challenge, you know, because you do have a reserved group of people who you have to motivate and also make them feel comfortable enough to let themselves free. And that's the important part. I think taking a show to freedom is what's most important, you know, and whether it's America or whether it's Osaka, that's your primary goal. And if we could accomplish that in a place where there is a language barrier on top of a reserved people, we did our job.